Welcome back to the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Behind the Business. And today is going to be fun. We're busting some of the biggest myths about bookkeeping and starting a bookkeeping business.
You have probably heard people say things like AI is replacing bookkeepers or you need an accounting degree to get started. We are going to set the record straight on every single bit of that.
Yes, and to help us do that, we've brought in our head of education, Tracy Rosenberry, the wonderful, the awesome, the beautiful. She is a mentor and a bookkeeping expert, and she really guides our entire team on bookkeeping and best practices as a bookkeeping business owner. And she's seen all of these myths that we're going to talk about play out and has helped hundreds of people overcome them to build a thriving bookkeeping business. So, Tracy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I've had a bookkeeping business for about 10 years, and I just love being here at the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Academy and helping other people to do the same, start their own business, and just have an amazing career that they love and a flexibility to be there for their families.
That is great. So, when we are talking about bookkeeping myths, I want to start with the biggest one that we get asked. So, let's do it. Is bookkeeping becoming obsolete with AI and automation? Ooh,
Yeah, I always love this question. So short answer, no, not at all. Bookkeeping is evolving, but it's not disappearing. Automation is going to be able to actually help us. It's going to help us to handle repetitive tasks like importing, categorizing transactions. But I think the big thing that you really need to understand is that bookkeeping isn't all about numbers. Bookkeeping isn't all about just categorizing transactions. Bookkeeping is a relationship business, and businesses are still going to need real people to understand their goals, to help interpret their numbers, and to build trust and create a long-term strategy for their business. So AI can't replace that. AI can't replace the human relationship, and that's where bookkeepers truly shine.
well, thank goodness. I'm glad to hear that. Now we're going to go on to another myth that we have. Some people think it takes years to make real money in a business. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, it can, but it doesn't have to. I would say you are going to get out of this what you put in. So if you make the effort, if you get started right away, you can start earning money fairly quickly too. I thinking way back, I think I got my first client in the first month, but I probably could have done that a lot sooner had I been more confident and ready to just put it out there because it took me so long to just get over that mindset of, oh gosh, people are going to think I'm a fraud and, I do I really know what I'm doing? But once you get started, it will just snowball. And yeah, so it doesn't have to take years. It can be a lot of students we even see replacing full-time income within a year. So you can earn as you grow and just keep growing and building.
And we've seen it happen,
Love
I mean, even within months. And that's the beautiful thing about investing in yourself, investing in mentorship, because you may by yourself not have the tools to speed up that process, but whenever you bring other people into the fold to help you, they can get you there much quicker.
Agreed. Agreed. Here's another one that we see a lot of times. This is a great myth is that there's so many bookkeepers out there. Are there too many? Is the market oversaturated? So what would you say to that myth?
Yeah, I don't think so. In fact, I keep seeing things that say basically the opposite. There's people not going to school for accounting anymore. There are bookkeeping firms out there that can't handle all the clients that they have. And so, definitely not. There's millions of small businesses and more opening every single day. And then there's also a lot that just don't have bookkeepers yet, or maybe they're not satisfied with the bookkeepers that they have. So clients really want bookkeepers that they can trust and connect with. And so I would say no, no, it's not oversaturated. People
All
still
right.
need it.
I 100% agree. So let's talk about the client part of it. You mentioned the clients. Do you have to be local to those clients or can they actually just work virtually? What would you say there with that myth?
Yeah, no, bookkeeping can be completely virtual. So, I mean, I have worked with both. I've done, got a lot of my clients from in-person networking. So, they were local, but one of the things that I will tell people if I meet them in person initially, I will say, "Okay, great to work with you. Yes, we're local. That's awesome, but I'm not going to be coming into your office. I'm not coming and picking up paperwork. We're doing this virtually because, it's more efficient, it's easier." And I think anymore, that's kind of the standard. People expect that. So, yeah, you don't have to be local.
Awesome. Okay, so another big question that we get, we talk a lot about you can start a bookkeeping business to replace your 9 to 5, but then we hear back, well, I'm going to have to work 40 plus hours a week to start that business and replace my income. Is that true? Talk to us about that.
No, that's a huge myth. Bookkeepers can earn good income just working part-time, honestly. And I grew my business working only during my kids' school hours. And I can tell you right now, I spent more time um, probably answering emails and going to networking events than I did doing actual bookkeeping work. So it's kind of funny. Like I wish I'd probably kept better track of my time so I could go back and tell you exactly how much. But I would say, it's probably a small sliver of the pie of what you're doing with actual bookkeeping work. So yeah, big myth. You can definitely grow a successful business just during part-time or, just while your kids are at school.
Now let's talk about the financial side. We just talked about the hours. Some people think that bookkeeping can just be like a small side hustle. They can't make real money to replace real corporate income. What do you say to that?
Yeah. I mean, it can be a side hustle if you just want it to be a side hustle. It definitely can be, but I mean, it can be a full-time, high-earning business too. I personally, I was making more than my husband after a couple of years. So, and it's funny because, people, I know family members and they would be like, "Oh, are you still doing that little business on the side?" And it's like, yeah, I make more money than my husband, but okay. Yeah, yeah. So it's funny. I laugh about it now, but yeah.
Well, it's funny. We have so many stories too of people, if we're specifically talking about husbands and wives, women who come into our program and then retire their husband's salary because
Yep,
of the business that they've been able to build. So I love
absolutely.
that you pointed that out.
Yep. So here's some of talking about getting those clients. So whether it's a side hustle, whether you're working 10 or 40 hours, doesn't matter. A lot of the times we get people are curious as how do I get those clients? Do I need to have this big social media following to get clients? What would you say to that person asking that question?
Yeah, so no, of course not. You can use social media. Social media is a great tool, but you don't have to have a large following. It's more about the people that you connect with, not the people that are following you. And really, I am a big proponent of networking. That's how I built
Yeah.
my business was really on networking. Once you start to build a network, you start to get referrals naturally. And it's really all just about relationship building. So, social media is great, but as long as you can build a relationship with people, you don't necessarily even need it.
Yeah, and I talk about that all the time about my life fitting. Like I get more people referred to me by just in life walking around, going to my dentist, going to my hairdresser. When I let people know what I'm doing, they refer clients. I don't necessarily have to put it out there on social media. So I get most of my referrals simply by word of mouth of doing just my daily, driving to the store or talking to people at Starbucks when I'm picking up my coffee. Like you would be really surprised if you do life and you talk about your business in your life and you do your lifeing, you're going to get clients. So thank you for that. Here's a fun one. And I love this because it's talking to me. Do you have to be a math genius to be a bookkeeper?
So, no, no, you don't have to be a math genius. The software does a lot of the math for you. So, you don't have to be good at math.
Or
Book
you could fail it in college. Ask me how I know. I'm just saying.
things more about logic, thinking logically and organizing. Like think about, categorizing things, putting it into different buckets. Like it's about organization and it's
Mhm.
really about communication. So I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, but bookkeeping is a relationship business. And so it's really all about the relationships that you're building with your clients.
Now let's get a little bit more specific. We said we've established we do not need to be a math genius, but do you need to have a degree? Do you need to have certain certifications to get started?
So, no, you don't have to have a degree to get started. Most successful bookkeepers don't go to school for accounting. I went to school for education, to tell you the truth. So, you don't have to have a degree. The bookkeeping is one of those jobs too that you don't actually even need a certification to do. So you just need to have a willingness to learn, be able to follow a process and I mean, our program teaches exactly that. So no degree.
I love it. Okay, I want to wrap it up here. What is one big myth that maybe we haven't covered yet you most wish you could erase from people's minds about bookkeeping and having a bookkeeping business?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that I would just like to tell people, you don't have to be qualified to get started. I mean, I even mentioned it earlier. I could have had a client so much sooner if I would have just gotten out of my own way. You learn by doing, you learn as you go. Don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. We get in our way a lot of times, and that would be the biggest myth. Don't get in your own way.
But there you
I
go.
think, hey, really quickly, if we answered any of your myths today, I want you to put yes down here in the box. We want to see some activity here. So if we answered with those questions, any myths that maybe you were thinking about, put yes here in the chat.
Yep. And if we didn't answer some of them, pop them down below. And the next time we're on live, we can chat about them. But I just want to say thank you, Tracy. Thank you for sharing. You are always so inspirational and are just an awesome guiding light to all of our students in our program and the people we talk to here. We appreciate you. And I want to talk to everyone down below. If you have been held back by any of these myths that we've spoken about today, now you know. They're just not true. So you can start your own business and create the life you want. And if you decide to join a mentorship program and learn how you can speed that process along, I'm going to share my screen with a QR code. There we go. You can scan this QR code. We'll pop a link down below. This gives you the opportunity to get on a call with our team. We'll learn about you, where are you at in life, what are your goals, what are your dreams. If there were no barriers, what would you want to see in your life and how we could help you get there with a bookkeeping business. So go ahead, scan that QR code to book that free call with our team, and we will walk you through what's possible and how to get started. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Deanna. And we'll see you.